Jim Duquette drops a Pete Alonso bomb that could mean he's coming back to Queens next on MetCast. Welcome back to MetCast, everybody. As always, I am Ray, and we just got this in from Jim Duquette, the former general manager of the Mets and longtime executive throughout MLB. Breaking per Jim Duquette, Pete Alonso has offered the Mets a 3-year deal with opt-outs. It's finally coming to fruition. We've been talking about this for how long now? Would Pete Alonso go to San Francisco? Would he go to Washington? Would he go to Seattle? Would Texas get involved? What's happening with Houston? Would the Yankees get involved? But Pete Alonso is on his way back to our New York Mets. I believe Scott Boras has realized that long-term contract that he's been looking for the entire offseason is simply not going to be there for Pete Alonso. I'm expecting there's going to be an opt-out after year one, which is fine with me because you have the Japanese first baseman coming over that's going to be highly regarded. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. next year is going to be out. So Pete Alonso has a great year. That's good not only for him, but it's good for the New York Mets because he can opt out, hit back free agency, and then maybe the Mets could explore options like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. unless he signs, because now we have this new reporting as of last night per Hector Gomez that Toronto is looking to have another contract extension talk with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And allegedly, the contract offer is going to be very close to what Vlad is actually looking for. So they may lock him up in Toronto, which is good. The Mets get their guy back. This will allow the Mets to start getting the rest of their offseason going. We know the Roki Sasaki sweepstakes are going to be starting. January 15th is when he's eligible to sign, because that is when the international free agent period starts. If that doesn't happen for the Mets, I fully expect them to be in on the trade market for a potential starting pitcher, as well as add a bat. There's a lot of rumors out there that the Mets may be interested in bringing in a Santander. I don't think that's going to happen. I'd be furious. Let's be honest. I would be furious if they ended up bringing in Jesse Winker. We need a full-time DH. So now you could talk about the lineup being Lindor, Soto, Vientos, Alonso. It would be Nimmo, but I would love to get a legitimate DH right behind Alonso, then have Nimmo behind him, extend that lineup all the way to the 6 hole. And then you see the projections yesterday for Francisco Alvarez hitting between 230 and 240, 20 home runs-ish. If he could bump that up to 245, 250, 22 to 24 home runs, I would absolutely take that in the 7 hole from my catcher. And then you have to deal with a mediocre player in center field. It's going to be either the Tyrone Taylors or the Jose Siri, who the Mets yesterday settled their arbitration with. I believe he got 2.4 when he was projected to get 2.3. It's $100,000. I don't think it's the end of the world for Steve Cohen, but this is great news for the New York Mets. Time to get Pete in here. Let's get this roster built. It's time to win the NL East. So many people out there are just so obsessed with beating the Dodgers. I'm not worried about the Dodgers. I am strictly worried about competing in the National League East and winning the division. Right now, the Phillies are probably right there one-on-one with us. Not the Phillies, the Braves, and the Phillies are ahead. But you never know. We beat them last year in the postseason. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Are you excited that Alonso is going to be back? I think it's so inevitable at this point that David Stearns can start exploring other opportunities on the market. Man, this offseason, what an offseason. And you got to think that more is to come, because I highly doubt that Juan Soto's coming to this franchise saying that Steve Cohen sold me on this team and the future of this team, and then they're not going to do anything else. They're going to run it back with the same team plus Juan Soto. No, there's other big moves to come. The Mets have a really top-heavy farm system right now. Think of all the players that are ready to come up and play on the big league roster. Acuna, probably Jet Williams, Drew Gilbert, definitely, Ronnie Mauricio, Brett Beatty. There's not enough spots, so I expect David Stearns to potentially package some of these players and move them maybe for a starting pitcher or a bat. And then the other news that came out of yesterday, that the Mets met with Tanner Scott, the relief pitcher slash closer, however you want to list him. 1.75 ERA last year, dominant lefty out of the pen, throws around 100 miles an hour. I think they should 100% bring him in here. You have Daniel Nunez coming back. You have the Reed Garrett's coming back. Stack the heck out of this bullpen. Shorten these games. Have that lineup that nobody wants to face, because we all know adding Soto to this lineup that we had last year could be deadly, and it could only get better because JD Martinez suffered towards the end of the season. Unfortunately, he was not nearly as good, but get a legitimate DH bat in here and let's roll. Again, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you agree with me? Are you excited about Pete Alonso being here? As news comes in, we'll be sure to bring it to you. If you guys like this content, we kindly ask you to like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow so much. We've been growing with you guys. Become a part of the MetCast crew. We'll be doing things at games live this season. We're going to be there for opening day. We might even live stream and have some of you guys on. If you see us in the parking lot, we'll let you know where we're at. We'll be doing fan interviews, posting it on the channel for you guys to interact with. Until next time, take care.